All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets. Colleen might have called the bottom here. I digress. Great interview, by the way, at 9:30 Eastern. This obviously being a little bit after 11 when I sign on. So let me sign into TradeGATEHub. I sign in just the same as everybody else right there. There's the tab. It's that easy. Boom. And then we get to talking. Like I said, if you missed anybody that's not familiar, let me pause this. There's actually Adam and coaches. What a great site. You know what I mean? You have Adam giving an interview in the top right corner, which, by the way, if you want to watch the interview and if it's not playing at any time, one of the greatest amenities we have here at TradeGATEHub is the red YouTube button, which basically brings you back to all our videos. And not only does it, if you missed it, go back even further and get an idea of what we bring to the table. I mean, I guess for lack of a better term, it's right there. Everything in daily. That's basically our DNA in our calls. We're not always right, but if we're wrong, we give very, very high level opinions. And also we have the guests that give very high level opinions. We have David Hunter, six-figure follow. Helene Meisler is basically a trailblazer. I mean, she's been on 3 times. It's amazing. Luke was on. We had the COO of TrendSpider. This is who we had on in the past. I'll stay on the subject because you know what? Just to get people on. Once you're on, you'll stay. Believe me, because it's that type. We had Jake on a couple of weeks ago. Guy's got 187,000 followers. CEO of TrendSpider. Who else do we have? Another example. Lean. This is all within a couple of weeks. And by the way, the ultimate compliment to any teacher or a site is they come back. Helene's come back several times, and David Hunter's been on. Helene, 200. So we had probably a million collective of people who have of followers on TradeGATEHub. If it takes 1%, do the math, and you know what? 1% of that means not revenue, because actually the best amenity of TradeGATEHub is that it's free. Is that it just brings more eyes and high level opinions. It's almost like playing in a basketball game when you're playing with the your normal kids in the playground at lunch, and then you go up to you play travel team, then you escalate. Better players breed better traders, and more eyes pointing to the right things. I digress again. So 9:30, go back and watch the video with Coach and Adam. I will. Okay, getting back to today. And what you should do is, especially with the red YouTube buttons, go back to this being Wednesday. Go back to Monday. My plan on Monday, and I'll give you an example, is the most amount of data that I put out throughout the week. It's almost that I want it to be dynamic. I post these sentiment indicators, sector sentiment, and where we are with Goldman positioning, not because I can post them every day. It's not something that's really, it'll just suffocate. It really won't teach you well. It's almost like going out and fishing for minnows every day. It's just not going to, you won't be able to do it on your own. I actually wanted to a degree, take off the training wheels this morning and let everybody kind of build their own plan. But then I remembered Powell speaking. There's some sexy things going on. And I wanted to establish a little bit of tough love as I grew up with. But today wasn't the day. All right. So the plan is into the end of the year, Powell's speaking today. So, and the 13th is also a Fed meeting. It's almost like I'm almost breaking it down. I'm not doing any positioning except for golds, which everybody should know that I'm in, and positioning in a couple of smaller stocks. What's going up now? Something's ripping. There it is. A couple of smaller stocks, but like I said, I always post the data Monday morning. And coming to today, it's a very active market. It became dull, but then there's proper rotation, if you will. And you know what I said, and this is what I have so many screens in front of me. It was this before I came on the air. Believe it or not, Carvana downgrade. Where we have here is important. It's not exactly the UUP and the TLT, which, by the way, still are driving the equities today, but that might shift a little bit. We'll see. Is this posted about Nutella? I bought some Nutellas when I bought for the fun today. Pardon me. All right, now I got into action here. Sorry, everybody started posting. A lot of activity at TradeGATEHub. Thanks, guys. Those generated by Campbell Soup. This is where food stocks breaking highs, not good for inflation. Campbell Soup and General Mills. Newmont calls. This is what I talked about all week. When a stock like Newmont makes a move up, I'll get to the charts in a second, and the guy says, okay, it's almost like when you have a good, it's almost like doubling down. When you got a good hand. Newmont's been moving up nicely, a former best of breed. It all started actually with AEM going up. And I also wanted to talk about another stock that I took a position in, and I'm going to add to it, and I like it. And I will not micromanage it, not that I do, but I don't have to. Is this Newmont calls going out for February? That's what I want to see. Newmont moving up properly with proper price action, moving accordingly as it should, range. And now the chart even, well, I'll go to the chart Nick quick. Let me here's the chart on Newmont. All right. That's the minute chart. Don't get dismayed. All right, here's the chart on Newmont. Okay. Actually, it was a former best of breed. It has a hangover still. AEM was the first one that started taking all the call action about a month and a half ago. That actually looks best technically. And this WPM. That is the one that has the heaviest for some time repeated call action. And I like this one again. So it used to be the old SLW Silver Wheaton for the boomers and generations X's out there. But Silver Wheaton is something that I'm going to buy consistent unless something dramatically changes. And I'm not talking about a binary Powell move today at 11 o'clock, whatever, 2 o'clock to give me a little dip. I'm talking about something that's going to be a cycle. One of these, and you look, it's even a beautiful, it looks nice. It's sexy to a degree. Let's go back to the weekly. All right, let's go back to the monthly. All right, so WPM as everything, all systems go. You probably want it over 45. If it's over 45, if that's a stock I'm adding to the fund. I like it here. And by the way, that's only predicated upon what the wise guys are doing. Newmont calls are going. For somebody that wants to find the that wants me to find the WPM calls, I'll be more than happy to post. Hi, Coach. Okay. Next. There's something's going on in the corner of my eye. Pardon. All right. Okay. Gerard, thank you for posting every day about the information that I would be posting anyway, meaning a couple of things. He's saving me a little bit of time so I can put together more pertinent action. And he's getting it. He's getting where, he might not always catch the fish, but he's knowing where the fish are. In other words, we're giving him the rangefinder. Crude support. Gold, I know who you are. Thanks for posting too. Really appreciate it. Gold's also posting in the commodity room. Okay. Getting to it. This is the weekly view on advanced declines. That's of course, broader part. Nutella, I'm buying the low 37s. And I buy Nutella low 37s because I did post a chart here. Did I post a chart? I should have. Here's the chart of Nutella. I'm going to put this away. Oh, that's Baba. I'll go short there. Where's Nutella? It should right here, below 50 days short term, right? No. Nutella. This is the chart of Nutella and why I'm buying it. It's a gene therapy. You know what? I know Nutella very, very well. And why do I know it very well? Because it probably could end my career if I didn't sell it. And I was a big buyer of this thing. A former, I think it was a buyer of it in the 90s. I sold it at 70s, bought it again at 45, yeah, 45 right here. And this is the 37. You know what I mean? RSI is coming here. I'm not buying 10,000 shares. Right here is also this double bottom. It might break the double bottom. It might sell. It's something that right here, even go to the weekly. It's something together. Gene therapy, by the way, if everybody knows, it goes with CRISPR as the market comes in a little bit naturally. CRISPR goes with Nutella. That's the other best of breed, if you will. So the only problem is Kathy owns it. I actually shouldn't say that or say something bad about it. It's one of the few that I actually think a little work. It's not because Kathy owns it, also because calls are going off. Most important, calls lead me to there. Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. Fact. So when there are calls going off, I go off. Okay. Part of the data. Now I left this for the smart guys. Maybe Adam and Coach extrapolating this a little bit. There's always my universe, and always what I'm watching is in the bottom right corner, the sexy ones. Where's Weight Watching? See if I was smart getting out of a little bit. All right, I was. Okay. Not Path in the Sun. One Day Wonders pins was looking good. China, all way 20% back. And where's China? As you guys know, my China positions are always on the bottom left. There's China. I posted a lot of trades today, I believe. If not, okay, another one to give you the insight. This is the plan. Like I said, this is the range finder. I don't know if you're gonna what type of fish you're gonna go for, but we're telling you what to do. Here's all the corporate events. Campbell's Soup, by the way, is ripping, and right now has a oh, it did report earnings. What has something has? I wanted to listen to one call today. Oh, this is the one. AI. This AI. And then not Allen Iverson either. AI. Former high flyer. If I didn't look at the chart on AI. You know what? There's always time to sell. And this was a Kathy favorite AI. It was also one of these things that's going to change the world. Do your due diligence, look into it. I know the stock very well, trust me. What's going on here? Okay. You know what? And I learned a couple. I also posted something else. Let me get everything and get on the soapbox. Now, this had to do with Charles Biello, but there was AI. Let me finish because it's the next post. AI has earnings tonight. You know what I mean? I took a position and acted. This is where I think I took a position. In December for the January effect, it broke out. Then I started building and building and building, broke down, sold it at 46, didn't get stubborn. I looked the next day and it was 36. Now it sits at 12, trade only, but that comes out with earnings. But this is what I wanted to say about what Charles Biello said. And this is what I said this morning. The S&P fell 1.4% yesterday, the 59th decline of 1% or more this year. Now, pardon me. Normally, I wouldn't mind that because I trade I'm an active trader. I wouldn't mind declines, but you know what? They haven't. This was even worse than the .com bubble. I don't think I'm alone in thinking that. But getting back here, the moral of the story is the players remaining. I'm present. Remember they used to call your name in school in the morning present? Is that I learned more about myself in a bear market. More than if I don't. I can't say it was an expensive learning curve because I'm not down. I'm beating the S&P and the NAS, which is down 30%, but I'm not beating. It's not good enough for myself. It's just not good enough. I don't use that as a gauge. I just don't. I don't. So next, getting back to that. So the moral of the story is I learned more in a bear market, and I established rules, and I listened. Thank God I had disciplined rules before this as a 26-year trader, or without rules, there's chaos. And trust me, there's been a lot of chaos out there. But I even posted more rules on myself. The two biggest, 80% of my losers this year, give or take, it's changing on a daily basis. I even posted my lotto tickets this morning. And trust me, and Steve Burns, one of his favorite posts. Where is he, Stevie? Right here. Steve Burns. Should know him. If you don't have him on him, then this is one of his sayings, and it's true. And I had privy to the books for a long time at Schoenfeld Securities, and I see what's going on here in the back office here. Steve says it. The majority of losses happen on cheap stocks. I think 80, like I said, 78 to 85% of my stocks on $1.02 stocks. I'll punch a couple here. I think I might get it back though, but still, it puts me. I have to babysit these things. These dollar stocks have 300% moves in 2 hours. They move 300%, and they don't make a move for 6 months. And I got to babysit these things. Wake up at 4 a.m, put out orders, good till cancel. It's not really worth the trouble. And it's not. Listen, sometimes it is worth the trouble if it's worth making money, but I have it cornered, trust me, but then there's hope involved. And it's 30, you know what I mean, when there's hope involved. Not to get dramatic, but you know what I mean. Or if you don't do it. How about that? All right, getting back to TradeGate. I'm going to leave off here in a little bit. All right. What else? So that's what I said, is I learned more in a bear market. So take my word for it. Believe me, there's always a learning curve. Always. Okay. Last time I post this is it. The coach and I talked a bit this. I don't know how long ago. We're talking about it for a while. This is Charles again. Now it's a tool, but it is a good macro tool. It's almost like don't run with scissors, you know what I mean? Or don't swim after a half an hour. It's one of the major things you listen to. Buy the S&P when the VIX closes above 30, and buy the S&P when the VIX closes below 20, and sell it. It's an amazing stat. Get used to it. You don't have to time it exactly. It's something to reposition or shift or take profits or build a position and vice versa. You know what I mean? You don't have to hit the red alert button and hit the go to DEFCON 5 or whatever it might be. Okay. Goldman Sachs post-bill equities color. This was yesterday's close leading into today. Read it. Like I said, it might be difficult reading, but the more you read it, the more it will make sense. It's not that difficult. Hedge fund exposure, they put on more shorts. That's fine. See, when they were all short up here, the bastards, just correlate the short. We squeezed them. Now they're getting a little bit more comfortable. I get it. Something ripping. Something's ripping. Oh, all right. There it is. I should shut it off. All right. So hedge fund exposure. I mean, I don't want, listen, I'm an active manager. I don't think I'm a hedge fund. Matter of fact, I'm not a hedge fund. It's almost like being an ambulance chaser as a lawyer. I'm not a hedge fund. I'm an active manager. How you doing? But the thing is, hedge funds, you almost want to be on the other side. You know what I mean? It's that their timing is for long term, but it seems like it's always poor. It is. It's just uncanny. All right, short-term tactical sentiment. We had a sell-off this morning. We were down. We no surprise. We bounced after Helene's call. I hope you're on, Helene. This is what I asked about Gerard, and some of the things that I bring and I want people to do is have a plan and develop your own style. So I showed my screen. I said, all right. And I wanted everybody to participate and say, what's the plan? There's my screen. What are we doing? Instead of posting all the actives from the day before, I wanted to take the training wheels off to a degree. So I said, what stocks you have your eye on? I posted 7:30 a.m. There's my universe. What do you got your eye on? G Money, a man of relative strength, and that's a real good quality. I'm not here to placate, as you know. Carvana. This is what I want to say about Carvana. No, I'm not going to jump the gun on Carvana. I'm going to lead with Carvana. Carvana is going to lead the market today, one way or the other, believe me. Gerard, G Money, what are you doing on Apple? Out of the money call strikes, the 150s. Out of the monies. Well, you know what? It's a 150. Somebody's playing for the Expo. How long are they going for? All right, they're going for next year. That's what you want. That's what you want. I don't even think that's a hedge. Somebody's stepping up there for 150s. It's not really that big of a call, considering it's 141. But with that money put aside, I can get, I can understand that. There's the trade on Apple, or the chart on Apple, as something goes back down. Bastard. Hit the chart on Apple. Would it go to 150? The 200-day right there, back where it came from, and then it'd be back to neutral. I don't blame you. The futures go negative. I gotta do something there. Pardon me. Oh, I got a position. That's good. Okay, so there's Apple. That, by the way, I like to see that because once again, Gerard is listening to the plan. He's seeing that Apple. I would like Apple to show some strength, like Newmont did. Apple could just be a hedge because it's been down. I doubt it. Good eye, but Gerard's going for where there is, like Newmont. You want to see strength like that, and somebody back it up. Back it up and say, "All right, that's what you really want." I get good eye, man. No question about that. And that's what you want. All right, I'm not that long. 11:20. All right, another one. VFC. I'm going to go to. I have to write all these things down. I'll go to VFC. Great call, coach. Okay, Bravo, China. Let's go over China. Like, what stocks do I talk about? Let's go over them all. Carvana was down 21%. Okay, so take it off your screen. If it has squeeze action, let me go to Carvana. I'm going to jump. Some markets come in because they're taking profits before Powell. I don't blame them. They want to take profits before Powell. That's fine. New share. Carvana. This is for Carvana. Another one I sold. Okay, Carvana. At the time, Carvana was down. What I say, 21%. Carvana 673. Opened at 450. People still got margin called. As you know, G Money. Look at the time Carvana. Look at the time Carvana bounced. What time? I won't even get dramatic. Or be specific. What time? I think that's 10:28. The last of the margin calls. It did the little dippity do. Somebody that bought it on the first dip on the open didn't do it at 4. Went to 460, Bravo, a lot of risk. I get it. Something's going down. Nutella. Come on, you could do better than that, man. Don't let down. All right. And then the 1030 margin calls hit. Then it got halted. It bounced from 360 to 440. Stocks traded 60 million, by the way. You don't have to, you should be day trading this regardless. Now, remember the open, it's 452. That's the line in the sand. I'm not saying it's a buy. I'm not saying it's a short. That is the line in the sand. You could also say the line is the sand. Listen, the line in the sand is the range of the open, 450 to 403. When the gaps and halts started coming, this is what happened. I saw this on my news feed. I'll show you one of my news feeds right here. There was right before I came on the air. Can everybody see this? Because it's an important situation on how I use news. One of my news feeds. XLE highs. What time did they come on? 11? Yeah, right before 11. Carvana halt for news. So it's now 30. David Faber is discussing on CNBC, Carvana. Right. So the futures are coming in nicely. It's fine. We want the pull back. Crude is coming in nicely. That's what we want to see. Sorry for being look at crude coming in, huh? Wow. Gold's gave a little back as technology holds. We should. ASO, the American Sports Academy, certainly holding. Wow. Oh, something got hit. I'm sorry for going to tell. Come on. All right. So it's this. Carvana. So Carvana, if you weigh. Well, Gerard asked a good question. I knew that was coming, and that's good. That's a compliment because you should be asking. It's not specific. Like not every phone call in the world rings at 10:30, and liquidates everybody. Some people don't pick up the phone like myself. I'm being facetious. No, but it's a process. It depends on market conditions. If the market's weak altogether and there's red on the screen and there's margin calls, and sometimes a lot of these firms, not TradeView, I'm off the record there, have good thresholds because they're highly liquid. Others, if they see that the market is going to down and everything is, they'll just do it all together and they won't even wait. Some will do it gradually and give you. It does depend on market conditions. It's not an exact science. As I posted there, I knew that question was going to come. Bravo, it should, but it's a basic washout. It's not just a button. So that'll give you an answer there. Something's coming in basic. Noggins hilling on the teller. Hell the loser. Bitch. All right, I digress. Okay, good question, G. Okay, getting back to this. Let me finish the routine because I do want to compliment, talk on some stocks. And by the way, here are the calls on the UUP. Where are the calls on the UUP? This was how long ago? An hour ago. UUP calls. UUP calls going off. The VIX staying. This was a key here. Okay. I can just say it. The fact that the VIX was stronger than it's been for some time. I did post it. Okay, VIX stronger than it usually is. All right, keep in mind. Also, something else that I saw, they were buying a lot of these UUP calls just right before that. All right, I'll keep that in mind. Food stocks ripping. Campbell's soup is parabolic. All right, keep in mind. So I posted that about an hour ago. And this is what the market did. Things were acting poorly the wrong way. First of all, there was UUP, not a barn burner. But we can look at the SPYs, which was about an hour ago. They came back 3-4 handles. I was buying TNA. I'm still long it nicely, but certainly a move like that. Apple came in nicely, was breaking a new low. Shopify, is a trade on the market. What time frame has this come from, Helene? Okay, this is what we do, Gerard, if we want to answer that question. I'm telling you the answer. This is what I would do. I would go to my, hold on. I go to my Twitter feed. And I go to Helene, which she should be watching or having on your feed. And when she says this call, I'm sure she got 1,000 responses. Time for a little rally. All right, maybe Helene ran. This is what I would do. Did Helene answer back? Maybe she gives you the answer. Hi, Scott. She didn't give an answer. what constitutes a little rally? She didn't answer. So, I don't know. I mean, I appreciate if I knew that answer, I would have answered. But if from now on you want to know any of the posts and what I say, go back to the source and go back to see what Helene said. You know what I mean? Just go to her, her time frame. But good question. Since again, maybe she was getting cute. It's certainly unlike her to go into to a Fed speak, if you will. Look at. Let me go to my screen for a second. I'll leave it at that. You know what I mean? Just look. You know what you want to. I'll leave it at this because there's a lot going on. Charts that I'm looking at. New share. Am I on the share? Am I on the share? I am on the share. Okay. Good charts. All right. D-Dog. You're welcome, Gerard. You know what I mean. D-Dog was up nicely this morning. It was at 71. Now it's 68. Gave it all back with that aggressive. Actually, it was up. Has aggressive insider buying, but it was because of MDB. MDB was the one that was taking everything up nicely. The reason why they bounced, but that one came back. MDB. Oh, that's a minute chart. MDB even pulled back. Charts I'm looking at. Toll Brothers acting well. Homie. Campbell Soup. Am I going to be buying Campbell Soup here? I don't know. It has price. I shouldn't care what it is. Price action, range, and volume. Who cares if it makes soup? This might be the new leader. It might be the new Fastly. Campbell Soup going up the same way. Toll Brothers acting well. Lennar acting very well. PHM in the fund. I might add to that today. What's acting poorly and breaking? Carvana. You want to watch Carvana because it's a part squeeze. It's a part. If they start halting it to the upside, it's a product that they might be taking the other stocks, to the upside. So EMPH, to answer your question, it's not over yet, I guess, Gerard. EMPH, there's the chart. They could have blasted it today. Campbell Soup, RDRX got Marna, fun stock hanging in there. Billy, what's not hanging in there? Natel is going to test me. I have too much. Well, UNFI, I bought this UNFI all the way down because it's a food stock. Started buying it. Where? ISC, they're selling. That held up for a while. See, that's a good one. That held up for a while. See, that's a chart, Gerard. So Gerard says they're selling that now as he goes to a post here on TradeGATEHub. Very good idea. Because you know what? He's looking for option action. He's looking for a stock that was a former leader that might break down. And we're going to go to the chart. And this is ISE. Good point, man. Chart on ISE, former leader. It's almost like an AEHR, which I had to sell. I had to. I didn't want to. They had to do it. They dragged me in like the Godfather. 27 to 25, I have a decent sized position. The 5-point swing, 13 days, a lot to swallow. So I actually did sell it. I sold it a lot better, but that ISE acts like the same. It was a former high flyer. It's got to move up in it. It's got the channels to go down. Is this the channel? If it breaks that top at 21, it might have it. Good to keep your eye on, man. That's a good stock. Good job. I'm gonna have you know what? It's even gonna make the screen. ISE. You'll see it there later. All right. I'm not placating. Good eye. Let's go back. What charts am I looking at? SI, of course. There's no bottom in this thing. I wouldn't be surprised it goes into teens. I'm not shorted at all. Coin, wouldn't be surprised if it followed. Has been a redundant saying of mine, but whatever. But the fact they're taking up home builder, I guess to finish, they're taking them to this American Sports Academy. That goes with this BGFB. Where's this thing? It was one of my bigger positions, never squeezed, got out of it, didn't have an ego. What else am I looking at? Walmart, long-term chart, acting well. Home Depot, acting well. Lowe's had earnings this morning. Was it it was negative? Is it positive? It is. I didn't know that. Campbell Soup ripping. General Mills, they're making cereal. Ugh. Weight Watchers, I'm in it. I did sell the majority of Weight Watchers. I think I sold 30,000 Weight Watchers. Fact. I kept buying it back. Weight Watchers. I came along. I'll show you Weight Watchers. This is my position in Weight Watchers. I might have taken it off the screen for legal purposes. Did I? I did. Trust me, we're at the WW part. I apologize. I'm in my pajamas still too. That's why I slicked my hair back. In my pajamas. I'm fine with it. Freaking fine with it. Weight Watchers, we sold it, bottom line. So I also bought UNFI is the reason why I bought UNFI because of the food sector. A lot of these retailers are hanging in there and not giving it back. For example, Signet Jewelers, which I shorted and actually covered yesterday. I'm still short a little bit. I'm actually shorted from 67 and it's 71. Not much of it. I'm not going to add to it. You see, I shorted a little here. It's a loser. Something with negative. Nutella. Can test me. All right. ASO, American Sports Academy. Splunk, I'm going to buy. If I'm going to buy any technology stock, it's going to be this one. This is the one you want to try. Splunk, and I am in it. I bought it. Like I told you, this is the one you want to try. At least a chart, no matter what it is. Reported good earnings. It wasn't a one-day wonder because it held the moving averages. I like it did hold a little bit, but it did go from 72 to 92, resting above the moving averages, still curling. It's got some work to do. I don't say it's a stock you got to put away, but that's a safe one. I mean, if you're going to venture from any one of the ones I see, is the golds give a little bit of back. I'll wrap it up here. But G Money, thanks for the ISCE. Goldman Sachs equities, hedge funds. Remember, Powell speaks. Always giving you hot stocks. Coach is hot too. Lotto and Carvana, not interested. Thanks for everybody for being on this morning. If you're on this morning, I posted them. Campbell's soup and cereal. That's not good. Nobody wants to. Apparently, you can't buy things on Amazon and eat cereal at the same. Look at Amazon. Not in it. Avoided it. People can't learn to buy things on Amazon and eat cereal. Don't those two go together? Don't they watch Paramount cable television and eat cereal at the same time? Couch potatoes. Apparently, those two don't go together anymore. Apparently, they're buying jewelry and homes, and they're shopping on Macy's, and they go into Dick's Sporting Goods stores, and there's still a Foot Locker, and they're buying wood at Home Depot. They're still buying chemicals at DuPont. Where's Sherwin-Williams? They're buying paint, but they're not buying oils anymore. They're not buying Teslas. They're certainly not buying Teslas. Let me leave it at that. Look at that Tesla. Unbelievable. Got cut in half. I'll leave it at that. All right. It's Fed Speak today. All right. Tune in after. I'll post the earnings. Any questions, comments, or complaints, always welcome. Trade will have a plan, and thanks.